All right, welcome to another episode of JYR Trades. Today is Tuesday, April the 14th, and I gotta say that once again, the market taught us once again that we should listen, and when we listen correctly and we are patient with it, it's gonna reveal its hand. Okay? All right, with that said, once again, everything that I post here on my channel is for pure educational purposes. Nothing is financial advice, but I will say this: if you want to learn how to trade auction theory, market structure, equilibriums, liquidity, in other words, if you want to learn to trade like the big institutions do by actually learning to read the market, then you're in the right place. As always, guys, if you want to join me on my journey, all right, to become a better trader, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. All right, I am your host, Jesse, once again, and thank you for joining me. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first things first, guys, the first thing I'm going to ask myself is, are we opening inside or outside New York value? Okay, now this is market right now, right before New York opens. All right, so this is London right here, and what I'm going to be looking for here is, are we inside or outside value? Okay, and automatically when I look at this here, these two white lines right here represents New York value. Okay, so right off the bat, guys, we are outside of value, so that's telling me we're not in a rotational day. All right, so we're either going to expand to the north or we're going to repair to the south. Okay, so the next clue that I'm going to be looking for is, where are our POCs? As we know, New York has one POC, and it is one of the main ones, but it is in value. Okay, so I got to ask myself, where are my other POCs? All right, and so by looking at this, I can tell you right now that we got one POC here, this red line, and we have this other one over here. Now the question is, where are our mids in relations to our POCs and to price? Well, we got one mid just above. We got our Asia mid right above their own POC, and then our London is actually below. Okay, below its own POC. So that, in essence, what that's telling me, guys, is that price, most of the structure is sitting below us, and you have one specific mid, the last one, below the last POC or the highest POC. So that's kind of telling us that there's a possibility that we're gonna have a small trap to the downside, and then it's gonna hit to the top side. Now yesterday I learned one big lesson, is that we actually have to wait for market to actually speak to us. Okay, all right, so let's talk about what actually transpired. All right, you may wonder why I have two sets of fibs here. All right, the first fib that I have here from 0 to 1, okay, or -2 to all the way to +2, is, first of all, it's my opening New York fib. So that means this is where the 0 shows where New York opened here. All right, now you need to understand that price, what I'm going to be looking for is, if I'm looking for a move to the top side, I'm going to be looking for a couple of things. One is, I'm going to be looking for post migration. Now post migration is going from the previous auction 0, which is this line here, this dotted line, to the next one. And as you can see, post migration here did not actually happen until around 7:40, about 10 minutes after market open. Now by the time market open, by the time post migration happened, we actually see that the price had actually moved to the top side. Okay, and it had moved a good 87 points. That's a solid move. Now honestly, I did not take a trade at that point yet, because I wanted to see post migration. This is one of my rules here. All right, now I will say that if I would have taken a trade during pre-migration, which is still allowable, I would have made sure that I'm well over over the 50, closing over the 50. The problem is that, you know, what if there had been a move to the downside? It had been a fake move, the fail move, and then the real move. And that's something that I wanted to avoid. Okay, so I waited for price to actually um, to do its thing, show its hand, and we had the pre-migration. We were away from our cloud here. Our cloud is the danger zone here. And once I noticed that price had actually migrated our auction zero, and we had a rejection right on the second candle, a rejection, and we started going to the top side, I took a long here. Now at this point, I'm looking at this fib where I kind of overextended, and really, guys, once it went in, and this is my new fib zero right here, right? I'm looking at it and I'm targeting like a 62. Okay, possibly below that, right between 50 and 62. I targeted. It was a quick move, and it was a move where I'm gonna say honestly, it was with no drawdown. I mean, there was no red during the entire trade at all. And so when you have a trade like that, it's showing you that this is actually a disciplined move. Okay, now I took the trade here and I exited out. And at this point, I decided that I just wanted to actually observe. Okay, I wanted to observe because of one specific reason. I wanted to see if my theory was that price was going to eventually come back down. Okay, back to Remitar right here. All right, and on Remitar on the zero auction zero, it was going to reject, and then from there the real move was going to begin. And sure enough, as you can see, price was beginning to start from the new auction zero, started to go all the way to the 1. Okay, went past the 1. Okay, kind of came back to the 87, went all the way past the 1.25, and as you can see, price came back down to about the 62, which is a very common pullback number. Okay, and as you can see, it went past the -2. Okay, I'm sorry, the +2. My bad here, and it actually expanded more, as you can see. Okay, I mean, well beyond it. Now I will say that overnight, okay, there was compression. That means that our range wasn't very long, wasn't very much. We had a range of about 157 points. So when you take half of that, that is actually my fib from 0 to 1. Okay, and that's how I measure my fib. So whatever my Asia and London range is, I divide that by 2, and that's how I get my fib. Okay, if you're wondering how I get New York value, all I simply do is get my fixed range volume profile 2, and I measure from New York 7:30 a.m. my time, Mountain Time, all the way to 3 o'clock, which is the time the market ends here, and that'll give me the the actual value. Okay. All right. With that said, guys, this is pretty much all I have for today. Now, I will say this here is, although I saw this move here, I did see it. Once I took my trade and I was out, one thing that I want to do focus on my consistency, my edge. One trade in and out. Because assuming that I had been wrong here, let's just say I had been wrong and it actually starts coming back down, at that point, what if it goes against me and then now I give back to the market what I had actually gained. Now, yesterday's lesson, if you recall right, guys, everything was pointing for market structure to go down, and I didn't wait for the confirmation. Okay, I didn't wait for the confirmation past either the -25 or the +25. In this case, we were planning to go down, so I didn't wait for confirmation on the -25, and it ended up. I took a short, started coming down yesterday. And what happened? Price decided to just reverse, and reverse hard. Now, the one clue that I missed yesterday was my VWAP, this right here. And I gotta tell you, I mean, my eyes were on like a hawk today on this VWAP, because one thing I realized, If market structure and everything is telling us you're going to go down, this is pre-market analysis, and VWAP is going up when price is going down, that's a no-no. That is a warning telling you that you're on the wrong side of the trade. And so this morning I made sure that I was looking at VWAP, and as it was going up, I saw that VWAP was going up, so I felt comfortable once pre-migration happened. Okay, post-migration I should say. Once post-migration happened, I knew that the move was gonna go to the top side. Okay, to the top side. So as always, guys, follow your rules, stay with your edge. You know, and that's how consistency is gonna get built. Okay. All right. So if you enjoyed this episode of JYR Trades and you learned something, please, it would mean the world to me that if you follow me on this journey and you hit that subscribe button and join me as we continue to learn to trade better every single day. This is all I have for you all. Till next time.